Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom,
And I'm Mike.
and today we're cracking open a semi-new bottle of Copper and Cask, straight bourbon whiskey, finished in a coffee barrel. So, full disclosure, Mike may have sampled this after he bought it when he was on vacation the other day, but we just had one yesterday that he thought he had a coffee finish on. So I thought we got to get this one out. I have yet to try this, so I'm kind of excited to try it. So let's get into the particulars. This one comes in at that was a terrible cork. It didn't even make a noise. 120.2 proof. We got it for $49.99. It comes in around 7 years, 9 months. So this is distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So you would figure it's my mind went blank. MGP. It's bottled by Latitude Beverage Company out of Rumford, Rhode Island. The mash bill is 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. So it was filled in December of 2016 and bottled in September of 2024. Hence my great math that I did with the 7 years, 9 months. So that's how
studying over here.
That's how I derived it out of there. It could be wrong.
Say, it wasn't on the bottle.
No, was it? No, I went with the pour dates and the fill dates and the pour dates. So this was a weird cork. It didn't even make a noise. I don't know why. It's in there too. It's one of them fake corks, but it doesn't make that pop. Anyways, let's get into this. Let's see. Now we have loved everything we've done by Copper and Cask so far. I can say that they do take MGP juice and they really do transform it into something totally delicious.
It is usually pretty good
At a phenomenal price too. You got to state that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
This is a store pick, and
they're always right around $50.
Yes, and they usually proof is usually it's 120 plus.
Right. So
not a crazy nose right this second.
There is definitely a twang, though. I was trying to go into this. Now, of course, I read it right in front of you, so I know it's finished in a coffee. So I'm actively searching for coffee, and I think I have it. But in my head, I'm trying to think, would I have found it if I wasn't searching for coffee? If this isn't a blind, you know what I mean? It almost gives me a hint. To be honest with you, I'm getting not so much a coffee. I'm almost getting like a jalapeno pepper, like the smell of one. Like after you made like poppers and you smell the actual pepper. I don't know what it's going to taste like, but I'm getting that smell, like a cooked jalapeno popper. We actually went down to, you could check out my son's channel, Jerky's Food Reviews. We do food reviews. We have fun over there, me and him. But we actually went down to, he says that every day. We actually went down to Sonic, and they had like new jalapeno poppers. And that's it. That's the smell I'm getting. Like when you get that you bite into it, you get the cheese and the pepper. I wonder if it's going to taste like that. It smells good. They weren't bad. Ooh. They weren't bad, though, by the way. They weren't, you get that coffee. That's coffee. You definitely get that coffee.
Predominant.
Oh, yeah, no. This isn't the same taste as I got with yesterday.
That was very
it was in this realm.
Yeah, that was more an after flavor. This is like when you're tasting.
As soon as you go to swallow, it's like rolling it on your tongue. It was like,
I don't know how long it was in one of them barrels, but you definitely get that flavor.
You say that though, but even when they did, if you remember the paint can, they actually just put the beans in it for a while, and it just really did. Coffee is very
strong.
It's strong. You don't need a lot of coffee. Yeah,
it was that black.
The black can we did, because that other one was nasty, but the black can was okay to me because it tasted like a coffee, and I don't mind.
You're probably in love with this one.
I don't hate it. The funny thing is I still get that pepper on the nose.
I'm not getting that. No, actually, I'm getting a light coffee scent in my nose now.
See, and I'm more towards. Do you remember the first Taconic? I'm gonna have to do one of them too because we got like 6 of them over there. Someone's in love with Taconic all of a sudden, but well, you keep buying them. But do you remember the first one? I think it was red labeled. They're from New York, if I remember correctly, and it had that jalapeno pepper.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. That's what the nose smells like that. I didn't get it on the taste.
I'm kind of
because the coffee took over.
I'm kind of like a caramel coffee nose. There's no mistaking the coffee in this.
I know, but I get now. No, it's 100% coffee. But when I was rolling it on my tongue, I get that jalapeno pepper flavor. Like it's in there. And the spice at 120, it's not drinking hot at all. I haven't had a sip. This is my first drink in a day. So it's there for sure. But that coffee definitely, if you're not a coffee person, like the guy that buys it, this is not for you because it really is. It's the whole finish, the mid palate to the finish, is coffee. It stays with you. That coffee flavor does stay
on your tongue.
Yep. I do not hate this.
I think you're drinking 120. To me, it's not really easy.
You don't think so? Or because you don't like the flavor? I don't think it's not drinking hot. I'm just now as it starting to settle on my second sip. I'm just barely, but I don't have a full hug yet. It's one of them little pat on the back type things. It's not really. It hasn't engulfed me yet. It didn't light my mouth up at all. Like there was no heat of it on. I'm not saying but I don't know if I would go on the first 2 sips. I don't know if I'd go to the full 120 right off the bat. That's all I'm saying. There is a ton of flavor in this. Most of it's coffee though.
That's 100%.
No, right. So I mean that's the thing, and it does engulf your whole flavor palette like the one we did the other day, that the malted rye, in a different way though, because that really brought more of a caramel
flavor. Yeah, yes, it had other flavors in it, so it was a little bit better of a ride.
Yeah,
and it was just
it was a lot better of a ride. I like that one way better.
It was, and it was, and that had just a light hint of coffee, almost like it is now on my tongue. The little residual, where this one, this is like coffee.
And see, that one to me was more of like a molassesy, maple
syrup
syrupy
chocolate
flavor. Well, I had like a
too,
chocolate malt ball anyways in the flavor. This right here is like, oh, okay, I just got a black coffee. There is a hint of that pepper in there though that I don't dislike. I'm going to be honest with you. It adds to it. It does have a good viscosity, and it does stick around. This is another one of them that I say it has a ton of flavor. Whether you're going to like that, it's way off profile.
It's definitely way off.
Yeah, and you have to like coffee because it is what it says it is, though.
No, it's 100%. I mean, and kudos to them for it's a totally different store pick, so they probably did well with it. And it is
because there's a million coffee drinkers out there. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
There is. So I mean, this is
one of the few that's
This is a big seller. In fact, I think it was the Whiskey Tribe that actually made. They had like coffee beans in the next bourbon barrel and then they sold the beans off so it had flavor and stuff. Like they did a bunch. Yeah, I think it was them that did that at one point in time. So whiskey and coffee go hand in hand with the Irish whiskeys and all the stuff that they talk. They've done, a bunch of people have done like, what's the best whiskey to put in your coffee, stuff like that. So like, it's there. You don't like coffee, we would never do one of them, because none of them are going to be good for you because you don't like it.
I mean, like anything, I'm sure I could choke it down. Is it my first choice? No.
I really do. You don't get the pepper, huh?
I get a pretty good sparkle in my tongue, but
no, I mean like that smell.
No, I don't really.
Because it's not black pepper. It's like a jalapeno pepper. Like it tastes like a jalapeno pepper. Even though I was told I should shorten my videos, I'm going to take a smidge more. I just want to see if it changes any. If there's any, you don't have to. I know you don't like it.
Pour it on the tape.
Did I pour it on the tape? There was no tape, was there? If I have,
what the hell are you doing? It's a mess.
I didn't know I put it on the tape. I didn't see the tape. That's why I had it this way. If there's any, although I do get the popper, I don't get any fruit or anything like that. It's not huge in complexity and a change of flavor because that coffee really does take over.
It's
the majority of it.
It is predominant.
I wanted to see if putting more in was going to get rid of the little pepper taste that I have.
If anything, I brought a little more caramel into mine.
Now that I've drank a little bit of it, though, it's finally settling in where it's making its way down. It's sitting more in my throat.
When you said it was chest. Because I took a bigger sip in it last time, and it's there.
But like sometimes you drink. I mean, we've done 110. That Sweetens Cove, I think it was 110 proof. And my mouth was on fire. Like it was like, you know what I mean? Like it's not drinking hot here. It's not until it gets down that you're feeling it. Those are tricky ones for me because sometimes it's hard for me to guess proof,
Well, and so that was, what was the Nashville barrel that I think that was up there, 130, and that actually drinks softer than this one, which That's why I said this one kind of.
I get you.
This one kind of holds on a little more to me than what I just had. So, yeah.
Okay.
But this, in some ways, for me, this one is like a
30 again. That's funny.
One note, Charlie. It's very, very coffee forward. Everything.
Yes,
but But for the money, do I like it? I would definitely go with a different store pick for myself. Because I'm not the coffee fan.
No.
Is
100%.
it all together? Is it? And does it last? Yes. Is it tasty? Yes.
And did they nail the flavor they were looking for? 1,000%. No,
I didn't experiment.
I get you. Again, this isn't a bottle for everyone because someone like yourself who doesn't like coffee. And to be honest with you, I drink coffee. It's not my, I do like the taste of tea probably better than the coffee. I bet though
a lot of people that swing by or whatever, they would like to try to sample this because it's not something that we have on a regular basis. And then if you had your paint can next to it, this would smoke it.
Oh, it'd crush it. But the thing is too is it's so off profile. That's what I like about it. It's one of them ones when you drink it, you're like, oh, that's different.
And you don't really get it in the nose, so you're going to be deceived. And if you didn't read the back of the bottle or, Cape Cod's, whatever.
Yeah. For those of you in Mass, he did get it down in Luke's down the Cape, just for those of you that are around here. But I'm sure
it's a pretty nice little liquor store.
They go all over the place anyways, you know what I mean, these guys. So
they do. I just never seen one else with the coffee.
No,
but again, I did shop that day without glasses.
I was pretty impressed that you bought it, and I figured that was the case. You shopped without glasses and didn't realize you bought it, because I was like, why would you buy it? You don't like coffee. It's kind of like my son, who always says, let's go do Dunkin', and he can't stand coffee. And I'm like, I know what the review's going to be, because I don't like coffee.
I know typically the store picks that we get with this company is usually very, very good. And yeah, I didn't really realize it was going to be this.
This is not an exception to that. This is really, really good.
I agree.
This won't be whiskey of the year because it's kind of touch and go with like, I know you don't like it, but the flavor is intense. That coffee flavor is a lot, and it's not off-putting. You do get, it takes over the whiskey. Don't get me wrong.
By a lot.
No, right. I'm just trying to say, if you guys have tried it, leave a comment down below if you agree with me. It is definitely coffee forward, but that doesn't, coffee and caramel and brown sugar and stuff all kind of go together. So to me, it's like a nice drink. Now, I don't always want a cup of coffee, but this is nice to have when you just want to sit and chill. And you can have a little cup at night, and I'm going to have a problem.
It'd be probably a huge addition to your coffee.
We couldn't put this in a blind. Oh, no, it 100% would be a good addition to your coffee.
It just gave me a thought, though. Some of the suck ones that we do have, would it be worth getting a coffee bean and dropping it in there and just take that nasty bread or that nasty flavor out of it? I know you're probably better off with your wood chips.
Yeah, we do that with wood. We do have a couple experiments going on.
Why would I keep wanting to taste this?
Well, I was going to say you don't like coffee, so you're going to take nasty and add nasty to you. You know what I mean? I don't know about your theory.
This is probably a better nasty than some of those.
I actually like this. It's going to be a tough grade on this one.
No, because for what it is,
I'm A minus. I'll put mine out there. I actually like this. This is situational. It's not something I want all the time.
I was actually B plus A minus.
Okay.
I wasn't. If you were going to come up with an A, straight A or an A plus, it's too out of profile. And if you did put it in a blind, it's still going to stand out.
No, like if you take yesterday's, there was so much complexity. I was A plus. This one, but situational or for actually nailing what they were looking for, this is very good. This isn't going to blind against anything because it is so off profile, unless you found something else that had a coffee finish.
I was going to say, and then even that paint can, I think that was only 80 proof or something too.
Buy it. Yeah, I would never buy that again. That wasn't worth the $9.99 I paid for it. I could, whatever it was back then. But
it was a neat display.
I did love the can, and I should have kept them. I'm a donkey back then. I threw everything away, but it was different.
They're cheap enough. I didn't like it. The first
no,
flavors.
it wasn't. Yeah, and I have to drink it again. Yeah. Again, leave a comment down below. I'd be curious if you guys have seen anything finished in the coffee.
They do have
like
a lot
this.
of coffee whiskeys.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Leave a comment down below if you know another coffee whiskey that's around 120 proof.
Typically, I don't think they're that high.
I don't. Well, even if you have one, I'll be curious if someone else likes a coffee
I know
whiskey
Bird Dog's got
made
one.
by somebody else. Leave a but a lot of time with them, they're at like 70. I'm not going to buy a 70 proof and try to put it up against this.
No, it's going to smoke it.
Not even going to be fair. But if there is somebody who makes one, leave a comment down below. I'll be curious to see, because I wouldn't mind putting them in at the very least as a Blind Fight Friday and just see who ends up winning at the end of that. So. Again, they do magical things with the whiskey they get from MGP. So I couldn't think of what their new name is. That's why I knew MGP, but I couldn't think of their new name. Ross and Squibb, because I was fighting with that. But again, that's our review. We said A-. I like it. I like the A-. I think it's super unique.
Again, I was B plus A-. I wasn't. I'm not beating on it because I personally don't like coffee. That's my problem.
But there's no elbows going down, is what I like. It drinks.
It carries some pretty good sparkle, though.
Goodness. Well, we're opposite today. That happens every once in a while.
I don't know. It seems to be tickling on my tongue. I don't know if that's the rye. I don't know really what coffee does because I don't drink it. So I don't know.
I think because it has so much flavor, to me, it's not drinking hot. Because there's a bounty of that coffee flavor that nails you when you go and swallow it. So it's not coming down hot. It's just coming down like, wow, that's different. You know what I mean?
And it does stick on your tongue.
Oh, it stays for days. Absolutely.
It's still there.
It has a nice finish. And again, as long as you like them. So, well, there you go. This is the Copper and Cask straight bourbon whiskey finished in a coffee cask. So that's our review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.